Hello, back again. That's me finished the front facing, and I think what I have decided to do is keep the stripes going down the one way, and that's it. So long ways rather than going long ways as well, sideways, sorry. So I'll give you a wee close look there. So it's just going straight on down the middle of the 2.5 squares and the 2.5 strips. And I think I'll keep it like that. Kinda like it. And that's the backing of it all. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is trim up the quilt, and then the next step will be to make the binding for the quilt. And I think what we'll do is use all the fat quarters that were in the bundle of the Cottage Views by William Morris. So I've got lots to use there. I can cut up into 2.5 strips to make my binding. So what we'll do now is we'll take you over and we can get the quilt trimmed up a little bit in readiness for the binding. There we go. I'll just turn you around here. Okay, so I've got it all laid out onto my desk, and I'm going to use my Quilter's Dream 10.5 inch square ruler, and I like to start up at the top here. Get it into place. I like to make sure all the lines are as straight as possible. They're not all going to be straight as, but if you can try and get it to be straight as you possibly can, that's great. There we go. Trim these wee pieces off here. Just turn that round here. Again, square it up. It's not too bad. And then after I've done this, I'll give it a good press. There we are. Straighten it up as much as you can. When I was sewing the strips down, each square in strips, when it was lying on my hip, it was so cosy feeling. So it's times like this when you want the cold nights to come in. So you can cozy up with your quilt. Just strip that back in. There we go. Alright. Log fire on. A nice wee chamomile tea. There we are. Just trim that bit away there. I'll keep that there so I can sort that out later. Turn it round. Got one more side to do. One and a bit side even. So line up as much as you can. What I'll do is missed that wee bit there. Too busy gabbing. Right. It's been an enjoyable quilt to make so far anyway. I love getting to the end of a project so I can see what it looks like, but on the other hand it's a wee bit sad sometimes as well, because you've came to an end of something that you've enjoyed making. And I think what makes the world a difference is before you do a big project like this, is what I like to do, and I'm sure a lot of other people do the same, is give your sewing machine a nice clean out. Get rid of all the lint and change the needle. Which is always a good habit to get into. And there. That's good too. There we go. I promised myself to get gloves while using a rotary cutter. It was a wee while ago. I was cutting fabric to make another quilt and I had my iPad on and I was watching a film, and I was too busy concentrating on the film and I was cutting up the squares. The rotary cutter just went straight into my finger. Oh, the pain. So I think lesson learned, always have your eye on the fabric when you're using a fabric cutter, that's for sure. So I don't watch films when I'm cutting fabric. Peace and quiet is the answer. There we go. There we are. Nearly there. And again, I'll pop that over there and sort out, because these wee strips always come in handy for something. Last wee bit. There we go. Perfect cutter to the one side. So there we go everyone, that's that, all complete, well not completed, but all trimmed up, all squared off nicely. There we go, lift that up here. It's going to be a really nice cosy wee blanket for sitting in front of the telly. So I'm going to take that to the iron board, give it a wee press, and next time we'll be cutting out the binding for the quilt too. Very nice, happy with that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon. Have a nice evening. Bye.